Today is a glorious Saturday and we're outside Earls Court tube station. But we're not here to take a train today. Instead, we're jumping on our bikes and seeing what you'd see if you didn't take the train today. Today, we're cycling the tube. Just before we get to it, I wanted to let you know this whole series is about finding stuff about an area, the trivia, the facts, the random information you might not have ever known about. Anyway, let's get started at Earls Court. Now, this might look like a TARDIS to you for those that know Doctor Who, but it's in fact a local experiment by the Met Police to get local bobbies back on the street. So, normally right now, you'd be on a tube train underground heading to West Brompton from Earls Court. But instead, we're on Earls Court Road, and there are some sights you might not have seen. The first being this place on the left, Troubadour. So, why might this be something you might want to visit? Well, it's one of London's first coffee houses back in the 1950s. It's transformed into a club, bar, coffee house, you name it, it's got it. So, just after the traffic lights, you pass this place, Brompton Cemetery. So this is one of 7 magnificent cemeteries in London, and this may be more famous than most. Rumour has it Beatrice Potter used to come here to gather inspiration for her books, and the frontage might even look familiar as it's from some very famous films, including one of my highlights, Johnny English. Before you know it, we're at our first station, West Brompton. So, what can I tell you about West Brompton? Well, there used to be a depot here back in the day. Actually, to be honest, it's still here, but it is being decommissioned in 2024. And hopefully I can spot it out to you just now. So, this is currently the other side of West Brompton Bridge. So, we got West Brompton Station just over there. And if we come across, we got the tracks heading down to Olympia. And the depots should be just over there. So, you might be asking why there's still a construction site here. Well, what's actually happened is that they're redeveloping Earls Court. They've knocked down the exhibition centre and they're replacing it with a new development. So, we're just taking some of the back routes now to Fulham Broadway, where hopefully I can show you our next stop, which is just past those traffic lights on the left. What I actually wanted to show you was this building here, which used to be the old Fulham Broadway tube station. If you can go inside, which unfortunately we can't, you can still see some of the old tube signs still there. There's one that says "To the Trains," which you probably can't see. The new Fulham Broadway tube station is actually just down the road on this newly constructed shopping centre just over there. And the reason for it? Stamford Bridge, the home of Chelsea Football Club. Next stop, Parsons Green. So what I want to show you is actually up there. So instead we're going to take a satellite view of it. Ironically, this is something you probably would have seen if you'd taken the tube, which is the multiple sidings outside Parsons Green station. But have you ever wondered why there are so many tracks there? Well, what actually was meant to happen was the quad tracking of the district line down towards Wimbledon with a possible extension to Sutton. There are several talks about where the district line were meant to go. However, from what I understand, it was meant to be quad-tracked from between the Parsons Green and Fulham Broadway area, all the way down to Wimbledon. So the sidings were built as part of the quad-tracking, however, it never came to fruition, and hence was just joined to the existing 2-line district line. Parsons Green also has a pretty nice high street, as well as this green at the end, which hosts a lot of community events, which I suggest if you're in the area, you come and visit. Anyway, next stop's Putney Bridge. Let's see what we can find on the way. Even on a route like this, you still find old signs such as this, which even say Fulham Parish instead of the borough of Hammersmith and Fulham. Neat, eh? Putney Bridge is next. And what interesting fact can you find here? Well, if you come around the back of Putney Bridge, you find this structure here. And what you might not know is this top bit used to be a World War II pillbox back in the day. Who would have known, eh? Putney Bridge Station is also the place you go for Craven Cottage, Fulham Palace, and even a pretty good chippy if you know where to go. So here we are at East Putney Station, and you might be wondering, what's the fun fact about East Putney? Well, I'll tell you. In fact, let me show you. So there's actually 2 bridges or overpasses at East Putney which you might not know about. The first one being this one here, which is what most people use, which is the District Line. But if you look across the road, you have a second bridge. I wonder what that's for. So if you follow the railway all along, it takes you over to this, which is the South Western Railway connection between Clapham Junction and Putney. You can also see the old railway bridge that used to go overhead to the eastbound line, which will head up to Waterloo. If we're lucky, you might see a train come by. With East Putney done, it's time to head uphill to Southfields. One of the benefits of the tube is that you don't need to cycle up hills, which is very tiring, especially the one at Putney. So, we finally made it to Southfields tube station. We did beat the hill in the end, and I'm trying to think what to show you around here because it's largely residential. There is a pretty nice high street down there, but where I want to take you is actually this way 5 or 10 minutes, so something you probably know about. If any of you guessed it, it's of course Wimbledon. So the All England Lawn Tennis Club's closest station is actually Southfields as opposed to Wimbledon, which many would presume. Understandably, of course, it is in Wimbledon. I wonder how many of you have seen it this quiet. And this Thai temple, one of London's first Thai Buddhist temples. I'm not sure if you can see it in the distance in between the trees. So, I'm just coming from that Buddhist temple and I came across this view here. And see the London skyline in the background. You won't get that if you're on the tube. So, here we are at Wimbledon Park station. It's been a long cycle going up and down hills, that's the only negative I can say. Apart from that, it's been pretty good. Now what can I tell you about Wimbledon Park? Well, I don't really know to be honest. There's not too much here. There's a couple shops. It's largely residential. The only thing I can say, there is actually a park called Wimbledon Park nearby, which has a golf course. So, I'm just cycling from Wimbledon to Wimbledon Park just now. And as you can hear, there's a train to my left. So there is the South Western main line just running over there, which you can have quite a nice view from. And here we are, Wimbledon Station, which is the final stop of this journey. Fun fact about Wimbledon, since this is a tube series, it's the only tube station which connects with National Rail and Tramlink. Wimbledon also has some pretty old buildings, including that one, which is a pub, and Centre Court Shopping Centre, which helped get Wimbledon back on the map. All I need now is to find a pub. Now, you've made it to the end, and thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you've enjoyed this trivia so far, even random facts I didn't know about, and I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, comment below if you want to see another video about this, maybe even comment on what section you want me to do next. And if you have any trivia of your own, please comment down below so other people know what to visit. Anyway, hit that like button. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.